Hello students. Now today we are going to talk about excretion. All the living organisms, they carry out excretion. Why? They take in the food, utilize the food, and they produce waste which is excreted. Why do we produce the waste? It is because of the metabolism. What is metabolism? Like whatever food we take, for example, carbohydrate, it gets converted into glucose, and in the liver it gets converted into glycogen, and the byproducts, they are the waste, they are the toxic substances. We produce carbon dioxide also, that is waste. We produce sweat also, that is waste. But here we'll stick to nitrogenous waste, the substance which are toxic to our body. So here the excretory product and then elimination. Elimination is removal. Excretory substance will be produced in our body and it has to be eliminated. All the organism, from small organism to big organism, they'll eliminate the toxic substance which is produced in the body. So now this nitrogenous substances which are produced, they are toxic. They are bad for our body. We cannot exist with that toxicity. They are toxic substance produced by the metabolic activities. Whatever the metabolism, the activities, they produce the toxic substances. Now, the fishes which are living in water, the insects which are living in water, the organisms which are living in water, they'll just produce ammonia, and that ammonia will get dissolved in the water. They require a lot of water, excess amount of water for removal of ammonia. Ammonia is just released by their body surfaces. In the case of fishes, not only body surfaces but also the gills. Gills are useful for respiration. They give out carbon dioxide, they take in oxygen, but they also do the work of excretion or giving out ammonia in the water. Ammonia is very, very toxic. So here, in case of ammonia, kidney does not play a very important role in its excretion. They are just excreted out in the form of ammonium, the ions ammonium. They are just released by the body surface or gills. Gills are the part of the skin which have the folding, and they help in giving out the waste more efficiently. So ammonia is carried out in bony fishes, aquatic amphibians, and insects which are in water. Aquatic insects, whichever. Now in exam you are asked given number of animals, whether they carry out this, give out ammonia as waste. You just have to see whether they are in water. Yes, if they are in water, they give out ammonia as waste. What are the animals which give out ammonia? They are known as ammonotelic. They are known as, from ammonia it is ammonotelic animals, and the process is known as ammonotelism. The animals are known as ammonotelic. They produce ammonia, and the examples here are bony fish, aquatic amphibians, insects, aquatic insects. Ammonia is the most toxic substance. Now, as the evolution takes place from water to the land, terrestrial animals, we are terrestrial animals, we don't produce ammonia. We do not excrete ammonia, we produce ammonia, but what happens to that ammonia? It goes to the liver converts it into urea and sends it to the kidney for its excretion. We do not have a lot of water, we have some amount of water. We don't have excess amount of water like fishes. So we have to conserve water. So we are not giving ammonia, we are giving urea. Urea is less toxic than ammonia. We give out urea, the bad substance which you feel, you can smell in the urine, that is urea. So urea, we give out urea. Mammals, they give out urea. The one which are on the land, they give out urea. Now the animals which give out urea they are known as ureotelic animals. And which are the examples of ureotelic animals? Mammals, terrestrial, amphibians, marine fishes. They are ureotelic, they give out urea. Next, now there are animals which have to conserve water. They will give out in the form of uric acid. The birds dropping, you must have seen, it is whitish greenish in colors. They are uric acid. They are preserving water. They do not give out urine but semi-thick substance, that is uric acid. The animals which give out uric acid, they are known as uricotelic animals. The example of uric acid or uricotelic animals are reptiles, birds, land, snails. These are the examples of the animals which give out uric acid as waste. Now we not only give out all this waste but we give out ions also. Now these ions have to be exchanged, they have to be thrown out. The example here, sodium, potassium, chlorine, phosphate, sulfate. Now you know sodium is going to increase the rate of the heartbeat if it is there in the excess amount. So it has to be thrown out. Chlorine ions will reduce the rate of the heartbeat, so it has to be thrown out. Excess has to be thrown out and the balances has to be maintained for the normal functioning of the heart. So all this sodium, potassium, chlorine, phosphate, sulfate, they are the waste in ionic form. So they have to be thrown out. They have to be eliminated and the amount which is there in the body fluid has to be maintained. The sharks, they store urea in their body because they have to maintain the balance of water in the body. The salinity outside is very high, so the inside fluid might come out, so they store urea so the inside fluid does not comes out. That is, osmoregulation is carried out with the help of urea in sharks. Now in higher animals, they have very well developed kidney, the tubular forms, they become compact and they develop a complex structure for excretion. But the smaller organism, they do not have a complex structure, they have simple structure. So the invertebrates, they have very simple tubular forms. Now in case of platyhelminthes, flame cells are present which gives out the fluid to the protonephridia. So it is proto means less developed, nephridia which is present in the platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes means dorso-ventrally flattened organism are platyhelminthes. The example given in NCERT, flatworm, planaria, they carry out excretion with the help of protonephridia. Now, rotifers show wheel-like movement, therefore the animals are named as, they rotate, therefore they are named as rotifers. They also carry out excretion with the help of protonephridia, platyhelminthes and rotifers. Now in case of Annelida, they have nephridia. They are more developed than the protonephridia for excretion. But platyhelminthes, rotifers, they carry out excretion with the help of protonephridia. Now what does the structure do? They maintain the balance of fluid and the ions. How much fluid is required by the body and how much of iron is required by the body, that has to be maintained. That is osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is carried out by this structure, which is very important for an organism. Now, annelids, they have nephridia for giving out the nitrogenous waste. Cephalocordate means half chordate, only from the upper side. The example given here in NCERT is Amphioxus. They give out nitrogenous waste. They maintain the fluid and the ionic balance. The ions which are present, which might be sodium, chlorine, ammonium, whatever, the ion has to be balanced. The fluid has to be balanced for the normal functioning. So here nephridia in case of annelids and cephalochordates. Now insects have more developed structure, that is Malpighian tubules. In case of cockroaches also Malpighian tubules are present, which gives out the nitrogenous waste and maintains the fluid and ionic balance in the body. So here these are the structure. Now in crustaceans, they have on this upper side they have green gland near the antenna. Antennal glands or green glands in the case of crustaceans, which does the functioning of giving out the nitrogenous waste and maintaining the balance of water in the body. Now we do the human urinary system. It consists of kidney, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. Now this kidney is reddish brown in color, covered with the peritoneum. It is attached to the dorsal side of the abdominal wall. Dorsal, this is our ventral side and this is our dorsal side. So it is attached to the back side. As soon as the thoracic region gets over and the lumbar region starts, the lower region is attached to the kidney. So it is attached to the back side of the abdominal wall. So here the kidneys are covered with the peritoneum. They are protected. They are attached to the back side of the wall in the abdominal region as soon as the thoracic region gets over and the lumbar region starts, and it continues up till the third lumbar vertebra. So this is the position of the kidney. It is reddish brown in color. Now its size, its length is 10 to 12 centimeter. It is 10 to 12 centimeter in length. It is 5 to 7 centimeter in breadth, and its thickness is 2 to 3 centimeter, and its weight is 120 to 170 grams. Now here you can see the adrenal glands, which are not for excretion. So we will just do the excretory system. Now this kidney has got a notch. There's a curve here where the entry and exit of the artery, veins, ureter takes place. So you can see the exit of the ureter. Now the arteries also enter. Whatever has something to do with kidneys, renal. So renal artery enters through the notch. But from where the artery comes? From the dorsal aorta. Dorsal aorta is the biggest artery which starts from the heart and gives blood to each part of the body. So when it enters the kidney, it is renal artery. Now the exit of the vein takes place. That is renal vein. Where it is going to continue? It is going to continue to the inferior vena cava, which will enter the heart. So this notch, which is known as hilum, has got the entry of the renal artery, exit of the renal vein, and it has got the exit of the ureter. So this is the structure, outer structure of the kidney. Now it has got, if you take a section, you see what is inside kidney, you will see that it has got the outer layer, the outer covering, it is covered with peritoneum, it is covered with a layer. Inside that there is the cortex. In general, it can be divided into two parts. One is the outer cortex. This is outer cortex, and this is the medullary region. Outer is the cortex, and inside is the medullary region. Now, in this medullary region, there are pyramids. There are pyramids. Medulla or medullary pyramids. Now, these pyramids are going to produce urine. Now, below this pyramid are calyx. Like how for flower there's calyx. Same way this pyramid has got calyx. Now this calyx, many calyx, they will join to form calyces. Now this calyces will form a funnel shaped structure. It will form a funnel because it has to collect the urine. So it's like a funnel shaped structure. Calyces is a funnel shaped structure. Now this calyces, they form the pelvis, renal pelvis. So this region before the funnel is known as the renal pelvis. So here the outer structure, that is the cortex. This inner region is the medulla. Medulla consists of this pyramids, the calyx, calyces, pelvis, and that continues into funnel, which continues into ureter. So this is the longitudinal section of the kidney. So ultimately the urine gets collected by the ureter, comes into the urinary bladder, and when you feel when your bladder is full, through urethra the urine is thrown out. Now, on the closer look of this longitudinal section, you can see this cortex. You can see the cortex of the kidney, and you can see the medullary region, which shows the medullary pyramid. You can see this pyramid, and below this pyramid you can see the calyx. Now, in between the region between the pyramid is known as renal column, or it is also known as columns of Bertini. So this is renal column. The region between this pyramid is known as renal column, or otherwise known as column of Bertini. Now here you can see the medullary pyramid. You can see the cortex region. This is overall a renal capsule in which all these structures are present. Now entering is the renal artery. You can see the renal artery. Going out is the renal vein, and you can see the ureter. Now inside the kidney you will find 1 million complex tubular structure which are known as nephron.